go on, everybody expects us to be strong, especially as women, as black women. As black women, we are expected to always just be strong and be that person that just holds everybody down. But who is holding us down? Who is making sure that we are okay? Hello my beautiful people, welcome to my channel. My name is Miriam K, and on this channel we're all about personal and professional growth. So just helping you with tips, advice and resources to help you be the best version of yourself. So we need to talk. You know, when somebody says we need to talk, you know it's serious. Today I want to talk about something that I've been wanting to discuss for some time. I've previously briefly discussed it but on this channel, but not like in depth, and since then as well a lot has changed, you know, and different things have happened since then. So I just felt it was important, and with everything that we have gone through the past 12 months, I feel like, and with everything going on the news, of course, with Meghan and Harry, Prince Harry, I just felt, you know what, maybe this is the right time, because I've been wanting to do it anyway. It's like, you know, just get it done now that people are actually like talking about it, and that is mental health. I'm not here to talk about the whole situation with Meghan, Harry, whether I believe them or not. That is not what I'm here to talk about. You know, that is her experience, her story to tell, but I definitely understand where she's coming from. And you know, mental health, especially in the black, especially African community, we are so dismissive of mental health and the issues that surround it. And mental health is so vast. It has a whole spectrum of different illnesses and conditions and even phobias. There's so much that goes into mental health. But I want to make it very clear, this is not any medical advice. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a psychologist or anything. But I am, however, professional patient, as I always say, because I have the experience dealing with this issue. So I am speaking from my perspective. Everybody's experience is different, and your experience is your experience. I respect everybody's one. This is mine. So not when it comes to mental health, not one size fits all. It's different for every person, and how it affects them, how they cope, how they deal with it, and how they see how, you know, so it is so different. This is only going to be from my perspective. In my previous video I talked about, you know, my struggle with mental health and being diagnosed with PTSD and clinical depression back in I think 2017 or 18. Anyway, yeah, but I've definitely had experiences before that. It just wasn't as prolonged as, you know, what happened in 2017. So if this is your first time you're watching me, you might not know I suffer from a medical condition called sickle cell disease, and you know, and it's a lifelong genetic condition with no cure, and it's affected all aspects of my life. It's very unpredictable, can affect you in every different way, and mine has always been very difficult. When I come out here, I look like this. It doesn't look like anything is wrong, and this is why I want to even talk about this and make it so clear, because we have this idea that when somebody comes out and you look good, you're well put together, everything must be good. No, that is not always the case, and we need to know everybody is human. It doesn't matter your background, your race, your ethnicity, your religion, your beliefs, your economic status, your class. It does not matter your financial situation, whether you're rich or poor. It doesn't matter. Mental health does not discriminate. It can affect anybody from all walks of life in different ways, and so we need to understand and respect that. Being in the African community is so hard because growing up, we in our community, we don't really take issues relating to mental health quite serious. I know a lot of people, friends, people that I know, that they've gone through like depression, whatever the case may be, and people have been so dismissive of them, telling them, oh, just cheer up, or just get over it. There are people going through worse situations. Yes, there are, but it doesn't mean you should dismiss that person's own situation, especially when somebody's crying out for help. We need to be able to take those seriously. We forget that there are people every day that are committing suicide just because they felt they could no longer do it. Every day, in all parts of the world, from all different groups, rich people. There have been famous people, rich people that have taken their own life, or that have gone through issues with mental health. We know the whole situation of Britney Spears and everything she's dealt with, and she's still struggling with that. And that is another thing. When you have been affected with mental health at some point in whatever form, it is not something that you can just shake off. It is something that you are going to learn to live with, because it is never gonna completely 100% go away. When once you've been touched, that is it. No, it's not gonna be the same. Doesn't mean you're not going to be able to manage. You can, but it just means that you can relapse at any time. You can go through, any situation can kind of trigger that. So you need to understand yourself. So for me, what led to me being diagnosed with PTSD, clinical depression and anxiety, panic attack, all of that, I had a situation where I'm in hospital where I almost lost my life. And thankfully, I was saved. I almost bled to death, but thankfully I was saved. And after the whole situation, I remember one of the doctors saying, "You are so lucky, Miriam. Had this been outside of the hospital, we would not be you probably wouldn't be here." And at that time, all that went through my head was like, I could have gone and left my kids, my twins that were so young at the time, my family, and that was it. And after that situation, I was admitted because I had lost, a lot of blood and all of that. So I was admitted. I was admitted, and then I remember waking up that morning and to go to the toilet. And I remember looking at the mirror while I was washing my hands, and I could not connect with the person that was sitting on the mirror. It was like I was outside of my own body. And I remember everything felt so strange. It felt like I was in another world. I left and I went to my bed. I was like, okay, this is like 5 in the morning. I was like, okay, just go to bed, Miriam. Maybe this is just a dream or something. And I remember just all of a sudden I felt like I couldn't breathe. And I got up, I was ringing the bell, nobody was coming, so I literally left my bed and I was screaming, I can't breathe, I'm gonna die, I can't breathe, somebody help me, nurses came, they rushed, they put me on a chair, literally held me back as I was trying to fall, gave me oxygen, everything, all of that. Eventually it got better and I came home. And I remember after that, it was like almost every day, that same time, I would just wake up and my heart would be palpitating, I'd be all over the place. Like, this went on, and even when I started noticing that, I was just like, I was no longer, I'm the kind of person, I'm always motivated to do things. I kept losing that motivation and everything else, and that joy. Of course I love being a mom, but it was just that I was just doing it, and it was like I was present but not present, it's like my presence was there. No, I was present but my presence wasn't there, and it was like constantly like I was having an out of body experience. And it took me so long to finally admit that something was wrong, and thankfully my team were able to spot that something was wrong. I could not sleep, anything. So I ended up getting an assessment, and that's when I was diagnosed. And even as that, they told me the different options, cognitive therapy, and also because of mine was quite physical with the panic attacks and all of that, and constantly having palpitations and all of that. So they thought I will benefit from being on a medication, because they said it's caused by hormonal imbalance. And I remember thinking, oh my god, what are people gonna think, like me on antidepressant? Well, that was my thought. Instead of thinking how that's gonna help me, my first thought was how people go, what are people going to say? Are they going to see me as a bad mom? Are they gonna think I'm crazy, I'm mad, or whatever the case may be? And I remember not even wanting to. I was like, no, I was not ready to accept that. And my doctor's like, Miriam, it's either you can go on like this, or you can accept the help so you can be the best mom to your kids and be able to enjoy the joy of being a mom, And I thought about it, and regardless of anybody, my kids are top priority. So I decided to take the help. I did therapy, and then I was put on medication to kind of just help, to balance out my chemicals, hormones, and all of that. And while I was still getting my treatment, and eventually they cut down, reduced the dose, and all of that. But then, things started going well, and it became something that was behind me. And then in 2020, with everything going on, the lockdown, and I did not just have to go through lockdown, I had to shield due to my health and my risk. There was a time I was getting like notifications and from NHS telling me not to even go to the door, not to step outside, can open the windows, but I shouldn't even open the doors. That's how bad the situation. Imagine, so it was me, my husband's key worker, so he still had to go out to work, so it was me and the kids. Couldn't see my family, but I tried my best to stay to keep the communication using social media, WhatsApp, video call, all of that, to try and just maintain that communication, because it wasn't easy, and it's me and the kids, and here I am trying to manage my own health, and now with them as well being at home 24/7, I wasn't getting any rest, and this is twins, toddlers, so it was just a lot. And as I was struggling with that, then I had another bombshell. I lost my grandma, who, if you know me, she means so much to me. I even named my non-profit foundation after her, the Dora Foundation. That's how much I love my grandma, and she meant so much to me. And we lost her. Couldn't go, was not able to say goodbye, couldn't get any closure, and having to deal with that grief. And then eventually I felt myself slipping back into, you know, the depression and everything, and just that feeling of hopelessness, because I felt like I've lost somebody that believed in me, person that supported me, encouraged me. Now she's no more, and I couldn't even be there, and I had to deal with that. And eventually I started the signs, seeing the signs, you know, of slipping back into old habits and relapsing. But this time I took control, and I got help, you know, early. I told my team, they knew what I was going through, and I started regularly having therapy with my psychologist. And we literally just finished our last session last week, and that has been so helpful. Just talking, just seeing certain things from a different perspective. You would think, oh my, I don't need to talk to somebody, how's that gonna help? But you wouldn't know until you try. That has helped me to see certain things, and how some of my experiences have impacted so many of the things I go through, and even things that I'm going through. And being able to look back, like peeling an onion, go all the way back to see the roots of some of these issues, so you are able to deal with them. Because one thing within our African community is for people to just go on. Everybody expects us to be strong, especially as women, as black women. As black women, we are expected to always just be strong and be that person that just holds everybody down. But who is holding us down? Who is making sure that we are okay? In order for us to be able to balance all these roles of being a mom, a sibling, you know, a carer, an auntie, you know, an employee or employer or whatever, business person, career woman, be the wife. All of this we are expected to balance and still go out there looking good, keep everything intact. We should look a certain way, we should act a certain way. If we act just a little bit beyond the norm that's expected of us, we are called names. We are ghetto, we are this, we are that. Who is holding us down? Who is asking us, are you okay? Who is checking on us? Just because we make it look easy does not mean it's easy. And I'm appealing to all people within our community. We need to stop being so dismissive of people's issues and what they are going through. You can never expect for people to deal with situations the way you do. You should not dismiss somebody's issue just because you feel like, oh please, people have bigger problems. No, everybody has issues. There are always going to be people that are worse and better than you, but that does not mean your issue is not significant. We need to stop normalizing this whole thing of we just have to be strong and that is it. We should not have any issues. You know, there are women, there's an increased rate of especially black women that are developing permanent, long-term, damaging mental issues as a result of everything that we bottle up. Because people are dismissing us so much, and if we show any signs of issues or needing help, we are seen as weak. As a result, a lot of people bottle it in. You push it in until one day it explodes. And next minute, all people say, oh, that person's lost their mind. Oh, that one is this. But maybe if that person had gotten help early, they might not get to that point. As a result of me being open about my experience and what I went through, there was a time when a friend called me asking me, please, I need you to speak to my friend's wife. She's had a baby not long ago. She is really struggling. He is so scared because she is thinking of taking her life. Imagine. Well, thankfully, because of me being open, I was able to give advice. I was able to let another woman know that you are not alone. It is not easy having to balance all of this out. It's not easy. We have had a tough 12 months already, and we need to support one another. If you are seeing signs, encourage somebody to get help. There are so many options. It does not mean getting help doesn't mean you're going to be medicated and that is you're going to be out of it. No, all of this is because of the lack of understanding of what this is. You know, if somebody is telling you that, try encourage them to speak to somebody, get help, support them in any way that you can. Don't expect somebody else to deal with something the way you do. The way I would deal with a situation is not the way I would expect anybody else to. So I'm not going to be dismissive of them, saying, oh, why are you complaining? I get sick all the time. So this, no. It does not make my situation worse than them or better. No, because I am not in them. I don't know what they're going through and what they're dealing with. So we need to stop this being dismissive, questioning somebody. Maybe they're just lying. Whatever the situation is, it is better for you to take somebody serious and help them to, just support them to get help so they can get that help, than for you to sit down questioning them, doubting them until the worst case scenario happens. How are you going to live with yourself? If you're a husband, don't just expect your wife has to be the strong superwoman. Even strong people need support. Check on your sanity. I have been through it from a young age, of going through things and people not believing, questioning, doubting you. There have been many times. I'm so grateful now and you're seeing a friend that, you know, we all go through things sometimes temporarily, but if you're seeing that this is an ongoing process, an ongoing situation of them doing things out of the normal, and them constantly just being down, being depressed, not wanting to even leave the bed, this sometimes those are some of those early signs. Not always the case, everybody's different. As I say, sometimes we all just have days or a week or even a month when you're just down and you get back up and everything is okay. But when that is going on for a prolonged amount of time, that is the time you need to start thinking that maybe I need to speak to somebody. We're in the UK and we are so lucky and blessed to have services that are here to help. And I know America too, they have, but thankfully in the UK, if this is a situation you're going through, your GP can get you support that you don't necessarily have to pay for. And now I know there are also like online like therapists. I don't know, but I've never used those, so I'm not gonna say, oh, go and do this. I don't know about that, but I know if this is something you're going through, you need to speak to somebody. So because the earlier you're able to get help, the better it will be. Because when you leave it for so long, sometimes that is what can lead to that you can't reverse, you know. So please, we need to just stop and start realizing that just because somebody appears good, seems like they're keeping everything together, doesn't mean they know. And if somebody gets to the point